Hi there, this is Galen Martling. Today I'm sharing Unity Stamp Company stamps and dies. I'm creating this autumn scene and it has mountains in it and an outdoor nature look. I am using stamps by Unity Blessed Adventures, also Blessed and Happy Everything stamps and dies, and also a stencil called Mountain Scapes. And so I stamp everything onto this top layer panel. Then I also stamp that fox a second time to make a mask. I'm going to color in the fox using Copic markers, but any markers or color medium will do. I just wanted the fox to be something separate because the rest is all going to be background inking. So I just wanted to go ahead and color it in with I tried to get close to fox colors anyway, so I go ahead and do that, and then I made a mask that will go right over that fox, and so it will look like just a stamped image, but really it's just a mask. And I prepare it all here. I use repositionable tape for the mask. I just stamped and fussy cut that fox mask out and put it right over the colored area so that I can ink over it all. I use these mountain stencil places to add ink. I alternate 3 different mountain sets here, and I'm going to go ahead and use Distress Oxide ink by Tim Holtz Ranger, and I use sort of a greenish blue at the top there. I stamp the sentiment at the top, so I'm coloring the mountains just under the sentiment. I'm going to fill it in with more ink blending in a minute here. I'm just lining up and seeing where I want these to overlap a little bit. So now I'm bringing that last mountain. These are going to look like they're in the background, but I'm just going to ink the top portion of these mountain stencil areas, openings. And so there we go. I went ahead and just dabbed the ink on the top part. I wanted there to be light spaces in between the layers of mountains. And so now I'm blending sort of a ground area in a brown color at the bottom. I'm using Simon Says Stamp ink blending brushes for all of these. So now I go ahead at the top, I'm adding a light layer of blue to mimic a sky. Then I go in with that brown again and I kind of put it between each of the layers there of the previous ink blending. And so that is the background. That's the background. You peel off that mask for the fox and you get that beautiful colored fox in the background that shows up nicely. And it sets right in there with the mountain scene all in one layer. Now I'm going to add acrylic paint. I have Liquitex acrylic paints. I'm using autumn colors and I'm using a very narrow paintbrush, but I'm not using the brush end. I'm just using the blunt end of the paintbrush to make tiny, tiny little dots of acrylic paint to dress up these trees. Now, everything was stamped in black, but to color it, to give it some look of fall leaves, I just added different shades in there. I added a yellow, an orange, sort of a mustard color, and sort of a maroon color in there to mimic an autumn look to the tree, like leaves are falling. But this is still in the background, so I left the fox in the forefront and the tree in the background and the mountains way, way off in the distance. And so I just went ahead and just dotted that color of the paint right in there. Very, very light layer of paint though. I don't want it to be too thick because I didn't want to wait a long time for it to dry. And so it's just a tiny little dab here and there and lots of colors. So I allowed that to dry and then I heat set it a little bit more. And so I heat set just to make sure everything was dry, even the paint. And so once I thought that was finished, I go ahead and add the Blessed sentiment to go along with that top stamped sentiment. This is a die that's part of that Stamp and Die set, and it's by Unity. I love it that it's all together. So I added foam tape to that top layer and placed it onto the card to just finish it. This is beautiful for the holidays, especially for Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe and have a great day.